Hello Internet, my name is Lave and I watched Murder on the Orient Express, which is directed by Kenneth Branagh and stars Kenneth Branagh as Hercule Poirot, probably the greatest detective in the world, who finds himself on the luxury train when, shock horror, someone is murdered and he has to decipher who done it. So as usual, I haven't read any of Agatha Christie's source materials. I haven't seen any of the previous film or TV productions, apart from maybe a few of the David Suchet TV programmes. Yeah, when I think of Poirot, I do think of David Suchet. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I actually didn't know the outcome of this film, so I was genuinely looking forward to following the clues and trying to figure out who was the killer. And I totally didn't figure it out. I was following all of the clues and it's like, oh, it could be them, it could be her, I don't know. What I will say, without giving away any spoilers, is that there are some pretty big coincidences as you go along and you meet all of the people. Yeah, there are some pretty big coincidences. One character even says, oh, the unbearable coincidence, I know. And it's like, yeah, but then when it's all revealed, I was satisfied. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And I was also really satisfied with Kenneth Branagh's direction. I know he's a champion of theatre and plays, and that translates onto screen here as well. There are numerous long uncut takes which either follow characters through the train or lingers on their performances as they're being interrogated. It really feels like a cinematic theatre production in that sense. Not only does he use a lot of long uncut takes, he's also very inventive with some of his camera work and framing. Considering it's all set on a long thin train, it feels very open and expansive. With some of his framing choices I particularly liked, and there's a really good example when Willem Defoe's character is being interviewed and it's all shot through this glass and it all gets fractured, which is very fitting considering the character that Willem Defoe is playing. The production values are all top drawer as well. It really revels in its decadent 1930s setting. The costume department, the set designs are all lavish and fabulous. Add to that some really nice CG work which blends in with the live location shooting. There are a few moments where it's a bit green screeny, and one moment in particular where the train looks very CG. It really reminded me of the Polar Express, but not in a good way. Performance-wise, I haven't got any gripes there. It's a good ensemble cast with a mix of classy veteran actors mixed in with some up-and-coming stars. Michelle Pfeiffer has still got it, and I even liked Johnny Depp. There were a couple of moments where he started to do one of his Johnny Depp mannerisms. It's like, stop it, stop it. It's really nice to see Daisy Ridley in something other than Star Wars. Josh Gadd also puts in another good performance. Judi Dench is in there. They all get roughly equal screen time, but really this is all about Kenneth Branagh and whoa, Turbo Tash. If David Suchet's Tash was this, then Kenneth Branagh was like, magnifique. Actually thinking about it, extravagant facial hair, funny accent, trains, yeah, that doesn't always work for Kenneth Branagh. Behind the Turbo Tash, however, there is actually a really layered performance there. I bought his Belgian accent, which is really important, but I really liked his layered performance of the man himself. He's really burdened by his gift. It's all about balance for him. And they do a really good job of explaining that. It's because he can see the imperfections which enables him to be such a good detective. And I bought him as a really, really good detective. Yeah, it's like he can't ever switch it off. He just wants to go on holiday. Yeah. Poor guy. So the direction is good, the production is good, and the performances are good. Any problems I do have are actually in its story structure. I think it is a bit top heavy. The first act does seem to drag on. I get that it's important to establish these characters, but it seems to go on forever. I think it got about 40 to 50 minutes into the film before the actual detective and murder actually takes place. It's a bit like Titanic in that sense, when you meet everyone as they're getting on board and then you have further conversations with them and then the actual murder takes place and you find out even more, except Titanic was a 3-hour film and this is an hour and 40, hour and 50. Also tonally, this film does feel a bit fluffy. I definitely think that they've done that to get as many bums on seats as possible, but considering this is a murder investigation, I was hoping for a bit more grit. I wasn't hoping for anything like Seven, but just a bit more grit. But that's not to say that the lighter moments didn't land, and it is also commenting on the racial divide in the 1930s. All in all, it's competently made and well executed, and considering I didn't know the outcome, I did enjoy it. Anyone who does know the outcome might think, yeah, it's okay. So that's my thoughts on Murder on the Orient Express, and pause the video if you want to take a closer look at my enjoyment tracker now. On the day that I went to see this, I said to a few people, oh, I'm seeing the new Murder on the Orient Express today, and they're all like, oh wow, I bet you that's going to be good. Oh, I can't remember who the killer is though, and I kind of feel like that now. I think it's all very well executed, but I'm not sure that it's very memorable. I don't know, that might be a problem with the story, not the film. I don't know. I think it's well executed. I might watch it again if it's on TV, but it's not something I feel compelled to buy on Blu-ray. And it does feel like there is a bit of a setup for a sequel. I guess anyone who doesn't think there's going to be a sequel are in denial. Sorry. So thanks very much for watching my review of Murder on the Orient Express. I really do appreciate it. If you can, give this video a like, and don't forget to share the lave. Turbo Tash! Subscribe.